Good morning, dear students. This is the last session of today's class. In this session, we are going to discuss about continuous charge distribution and Gauss's law. Continuous charge distribution. In this, the procedure is to divide the charge distribution into small elements, each containing a small charge delta Q. In all the cases, it is not necessary that discrete charges like Q1, Q2, Q3, etc. are present. In most of the cases, charges will be distributed over a space. So we have to divide the charge distribution into small elements, each containing a small charge delta Q. Next step is to calculate the electric field due to one of these elements at any external point P. You can refer to the figure. We are calculating the electric field due to delta Q1 charge at the external point P. The third step is to evaluate the total field by summing the contributions of all the charge elements. From the figure, you can see that you are again calculating the electric field due to delta Q2 charge, then the electric field due to delta Q3 charge, and summing all the electric fields together to get the total electric field. We have to learn about three types of charge distributions. The first one, referred to figure A, is linear charge distribution or line charge distribution. In this, the entire charges are placed along a line and linear charge density is represented by lambda. In the second figure, that is figure B, you can see a surface. A small area dA of the surface is being marked in red. So, in surface charge density, we are taking a particular surface containing a small amount of charge delta Q. Surface charge density is represented by the symbol sigma. In figure C, you can see a volume and a small volume delta V or dV is taken inside the given volume. And this small volume is utilized in calculating the electric field. This type of charge density is called volume charge density. Now, we are going to treat mathematically the various charge distributions. In the last session of the slide, you can see that the equation for surface charge density, sigma, is given by, in your text it is abbreviated or the symbol is sigma, delta Q by delta S as limit delta S tends to 0 or approaches 0. Last year we have studied this can be represented as dq by ds. The SI unit of surface charge density is Coulomb per meter square, where Coulomb is the unit of charge and meter square is the unit of area. Linear charge density, which is represented by lambda, is given by limit delta L tends to 0, delta Q by delta L, or it can be written as dq by dl. The unit of linear charge density is Coulomb per meter. where coulomb is the unit of charge and meter is the unit of distance or length. Coming to the first part of this slide, volume charge density. In your textbook, it has been represented by rho, which is given by limit delta V tends to 0, delta Q divided by delta V, or it is equivalent to dQ by dV. The unit of volume charge density is coulomb per meter cube, where coulomb is the unit of charge and meter cube is the unit of volume. Coming to Gauss's law. The statement of Gauss's law goes like this. Gauss's law states that the electric flux through any surface enclosing charge is equal to Q by epsilon naught, where Q is the net charge enclosed by the surface. We have already discussed about electric flux. So electric flux through any surface, that is through a closed surface, is equivalent to Q by epsilon naught, where Q is the total charge within the surface and epsilon 0, as we had learned, it is the permittivity of vacuum. Accordingly, the mathematical equation goes like this. Closed integral, which means integral over a closed surface, E dot dA. In your textbook, dA area is represented by ds, which is equivalent to Q enclosed by epsilon naught, where Q enclosed is the net charge enclosed by the surface. Coming to the mathematical statement of Gauss's law, we know E dot ds is equivalent to the flux enclosed phi. So phi is equivalent to integral E dot ds is equivalent to Q by epsilon naught. Phi is the electric flux, Q is the enclosed charge, and epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space. Unit of charge is coulomb. Unit of electric flux is Newton meter square per coulomb. And the value of epsilon naught is 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12 Newton meter square per coulomb square, as we had discussed earlier. Thank you, dear students. Please remain updated with the topics, or else you will not be able to follow the following coming sessions from this chapter, electrostatics. Take care, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.